Yo, what's going on, guys? I just want to do a quick review of today. It's going to be a little shorter video. So, if we look at the both NQ and ES off open, okay, when I came in the voice, I noticed there was a bullish divergence as soon as I came in the voice chat, okay? So what this basically means is I came in the voice chat and the first thing I saw was this. See how we create a higher high on ES, but we create a lower low on NQ. So I came in the voice chat this morning, I saw there's a bullish SMT, and I mentioned, okay, we have a bullish SMT coming in the open, right? We have our market structure shift right here. Okay, so this is a clear market structure shift. And again, if you measure the range of this, right, to this, you can see this is more than what this range was. So this is, I consider this good displacement. You got a market structure shift, you got the fair value gap. I was not up for this play. I was sleeping at the time. But you can see the target after an SMT is the next high. So again, think about it from a higher time frame perspective. Really, if this is the higher time frame, the only high we could see is like probably this high, right? Obviously, there's a bunch of these internal highs, but on a higher time frame, this is going to be the most obvious high. So ideally, off open, that was my target. So I took a nice long in there, and I said I was bullish on voice, and I was looking for a long entry, and I did mention I did chase NQ there. So that's where I took the long, and here's another SMT. Okay, I'm liking SMTs a lot recently, especially when we're in these tiny ranges. Okay, we've been in a weekly range. SMTs are very powerful. Off of open, my prediction off open was, okay, I'm looking for long in this area in NQ, and it was actually a lower, but ideally anytime after we hit these equal lows, which you could see off of open, I was like, okay, my expectation is sweep sell side off open, drew to swing down, and then go up and hit buy side. So what ended up happening was I thought that's because we did these equal lows here, and when you get equal lows in NQ, they're very, very powerful because this is a $13,000 index, right? So we hit these lows on NQ, they're equal, right? And there's a fair value gap below. So this made for a good turtle soup entry. And I could show you my index commentary where I said, okay, here's where I'm looking for long, but there's no point. You just got to trust me. So right here, you can see turtle soup entry. We hit buy side. Kind of mad at it. I didn't soup this. I ended up chasing after. But at the same time, you can see if you look at like the 5 minute, there was another SMT. So if we look right here, right, you can see SMT here, ready? But then look right here, you can see ES makes a higher high off open and holds this fair value gap. So while ES holds this fair value gap, and Q goes below and holds this fair value gap. So we have another bullish SMT here. So off of this, I'm really just gunning for the next high, which on NQ it was, or on ES it was this high. Again, if I went a higher time frame, this is the most obvious high, and I'll prove that to you. If you go to like the 15 minute, you're going to see how obvious this is. And then even right here, right on the 15 minute, this is the most obvious high. Just even on like the 1 hour, look, you could just see, look how obvious this is. And I knew we had a fair value gap to the left. And what happened was it went over, rejected this fair value gap. So this is another turtle soup entry. And this is where I was not expecting this much of a deep retracement. But what happened, okay, we got another SMT, okay? You can see ES made a higher low and NQ made a lower low. Okay, so we got another SMT, and I kind of kept telling everyone on the way down we are engineering a lot of liquidity, which basically means when we were going on our way down on ES earlier, just look at all this liquidity we were engineering. It was all right here. See how we create this really algorithmic trend line? I've mentioned this in videos before, but we were engineering so much liquidity. So I was like, okay, we're gonna break this. I'd probably wait for 130 to long, and once we hit 130, we got a nice, we never really got a textbook long setup. I mean, I guess this is the only one, so this is more of a kind of ordered block entry, but it's an ordered block. We are in an uptrend, the flow is bullish, and we had this low-hanging fruit buy side right here. So we ended up squeezing past it, but again, for the pre-market or the PM session, I said, okay, we engineered a lot of liquidity coming on the way down. I expect to run up on pre-market, or I keep saying pre-market, and I said I expect to run on the PM session. So we obviously got it. And if you look, there's actually another SMT. Okay, let me just go to the 5 minutes. You guys can see this. There's another SMT, I believe, right here. Okay, look what happens. Higher low, but right here we get a lower low. So we get another bullish SMT. Just absolutely beautiful. These SMTs were very, very powerful today. And then we get our, we don't really get a textbook long setup here, unfortunately. There's a lot of barcodey candles. In hindsight, you could say, oh, we knew the draw on liquidity was. I would say really, like, this was the textbook long setup. But if you notice, right, we never actually retraced to it, so there's no entry. But again, same idea. If you measure the range from this leg to this, you can see this displacement was more than 50% of what this is, so I consider the strong displacement, which means what? We should hit the next draw. And at the same time, I knew, okay, we had unbalanced fair value gap here, and we had a unbalanced fair value gap on Q as well, or ES as well. So we had two unbalanced fair value gaps, so both I were expecting to be rebalanced, and we had structured bullish order flow, and we had that bullish SMT. So again, just made sense to go rebalance this fair value gap, which I called in my next commentary in my Discord. And we end up balancing that. And then really once we get in here, I was like, okay, hold runners just in case, because if you look at the 15-minute, there are equal highs up here from last Friday. So I was like, hold runners, and we actually we went up like about 5 more points, but not too far. And I know some people are still in runners trying to hold to this, so this is really my next target for now. But again, it's important to note, okay, algorithmic trend line, we should make a run in the PM session. And again, it's not really good to long and lunch. This was a this was like the only decent setup I saw where, okay, this is a volume imbalance, right? But it's very, very risky to long here. I'd consider this a B setup because you're basically buying a PD array. So if you're a bearish PD array, right, you're buying inside a bearish PD array right here. So if your bias is wrong, which this is why it's important to know where equal highs are, equal lows are. It's important to have a good bias. If you're wrong, we're going to reject this and just squeeze back under this, you know. So it's important to note that this was a risky buy, but again, there wasn't really any good entry down here in my opinion, which is totally fine. I do believe there was a block on Q. Yeah, it was right here. So we got a 5-minute block right here, which we broke over. We held nicely, and that's probably why we didn't get the entry here. So again, pretty textbook day. Again, we retraced a little deeper than I thought, but we still got the afternoon run. I kept saying earlier, like, I knew we were gonna break over. I knew we were gonna break over this. I just kept telling people I don't know when. So that's why I said really you want to wait till PM session, because again, there's not a lot of volume to break over during the lunch session. It's just chop. So that's why it's risky just longing and saying, okay, I'm longing here. I think we're going to break over this, versus there's still a possibility of going down, then up, then breaking over like 2 hours later. So that's just why it's really risky. So we also have equal highs here in the Dow, which I think are going to hit, right? This is, I'll actually show you. So I actually said watch this to be used as inversion. I'll kind of note this here. Okay, so if you look at my index commentary, let me just move this over real quick. If you look at my index commentary, I said watch for inversion here. So what I was expecting was a breakover and then using as support. Okay, and what happened? We broke over it, use it as support. Okay, beautiful. And I'm gonna actually update that. I never really updated that yet, so. And yeah, so now we have the nice momentum going up to these equal highs. We should take out these equal highs tonight, which again, I still think we take out buy side 4172 on this. So yeah, that's ideally what I'm looking at right now. Again, thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like, comment, turn on post notifications, whatever. I'm going to keep trying to do these every day. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and peace out.